Hi guys, my guest today is actually not a guest, although this is his first time here in our studio, for which we are very, very grateful. Dr. Tunde Adegbola is to me more than a mentor. He's actually a father to me, an intellectual whose opinion, whose perspectives I like to seek on matters relating to our culture. Today, I have the privilege of having him, and we shall be discussing something really, really, not really conventional, but very important, very, very essential, especially at this crucial time. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks. It's such a pleasure to be here, and really well done for this beautiful studio. This is my background, and you've done very well here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Ọlá yín náà là ń jẹ sá. Ẹ̀yin náà lè sọ fún wa pé ọlá bàtà ló mú ní oṣù. Ọlá bàbá èso tó ṣe bí òye sá.
Pàápàá mi.
Àṣẹ sá. So very recently, I heard my opinion on the concept of Ounje Omo. I talked about how, in my perspective, it is something which should be deeper, more profound than pecuniary duties or pecuniary benefits. In my opinion, I think most of the times when our parents talk about Ounje Omo, they narrow it down to the tangible things, the monetary duties of a child to them. And I think that is reducing what Ounje Omo should be. More than that, I actually think it is dangerous. It is affecting a lot of lives. And I think also that if it were not for the financial states of, maybe some households, we would never have had that interpretation of Ounje Omo. Ounje Omo, as it is today, is actually not what it should be. It should be more than that. Now, quite a lot of people, or a few people, disagreed with that stance of mine, just as there were other people who agreed with it. But I believe that it is because of situations like this that we have elders like you around. So I would like to know or to hear, and just as there are many people who also would like to, from an elder's perspective, what would you say the Ounje Omo is actually about, sir?
Well, basically, so I think what you have done in asking for a discussion on it is apt. It's very good. I listened to the video, and somewhere along the line you said that it is poverty that make people feel so. In a sense, I think it is poverty that presented it in the way that you are addressed. In the sense that in traditional Yoruba society, there's so much integrity in the social structure that nobody is left behind in the economic scheme of things, to the extent that it becomes hurtful for a child to take his responsibilities, to carry out his or her responsibilities. But in the Nigeria of today, where things are hard, the economic situation is not very easy, one. And two, where we have allowed ourselves to be dragged into ostentation. And what if a parent will now demand of a child to feed their ostentation? Definitely, that is not the intention of Ounje Omo. That is an abuse. Ounje Omo is a fundamental principle in Yoruba culture. Torí alẹ́ la ṣe ń bímọ. Because there is coming a time when you will not be able to carry yourself the way you used to carry yourself, and you will need support. Even physically, you will need somebody's shoulder to lean on. And that is why your children are not the same age as you. So that by the time you are weak, you have them to rely upon. And when they too grow to your age and become weak, they have their own children to rely upon. And that's why we say, beyond the say, yes, when you have your child, you bring them up, it's like it is profitable to you, because there will be time that you will need the support of that child. But to now abuse that principle to the point of even probably impoverishing a child is a total abuse of the principle. I mean, for me as a person, particularly at this time, I have enjoyed Ounje Omo. I turned 70 a few days ago. My students got together. They sunk me a borehole. They re-roofed my house. Those who didn't hear when the contributions were being made said, you didn't include us. Okay, we will put solar panels on that house.
Wow.
And before I came here today, I took the delivery of 9 solar panels, completely paid for by my proteges and mentees. Ounje Omo niyen.
Which was one of the points I made, that if the parents' financial needs are not made to be the obligation of their children, whatever financial benefits come from the children will be a case of arakun lasho bagi, and that will be even more pleasing. So would you agree that most of the Yoruba people today have abused the Ounje Omo concept?
I will not be sure whether most have abused it, but I know some people have abused it, because I had to intervene in the matter of a mother and her son at a point. The son was going to get married, and the mother was putting him under pressure that he must make the marriage ceremony elaborate. And the boy insists, I don't want an elaborate marriage event. So if you want an elaborate marriage event, go and arrange it with your friends and do whatever you do. Once I take my wife, I go where I want to go, then you can continue doing your thing. And the mother then called me to try to appeal to her son and said, he doesn't want elaborate. If God wants you to have an elaborate marriage, you will have it. There's nothing you can do. And I told the mama, God is not interested in either elaborate or not elaborate. What God is interested in is a happy married life. So anything that will contribute to a happy married life, provide it for your children. Support them. But all this ostentation, you just want to show off with your friends. Maybe one of your friends had it big, and you two want to say, I want no kere. And then, and meanwhile, it's not that you have the means. You want to put the pressure on the child. And the child said, no way. He refused bluntly. Said, I'm not doing that.
I decided to talk about that. Of course, having, heard of people's experiences, especially Nigerians overseas, especially Africans generally overseas. And this has made, this has led to the popularization of the term black tax, where there are so many youths today who relatively are not doing so badly. They are not doing, they are doing well. But because of the burden on them, they are not even seeing that they are doing well. Because whatever is coming is inconsequential compared to where it goes. Now, there are unrealistic expectations, placed on African youth today in the name of Ounje Omo.
I will put that down to the bad state of the economy, rather than the tradition or a cultural attitude. By the time somebody has impoverished his children on Ounje Omo, they must have first of all impoverished the people around them. When I was young, it was the height of shameful act for a Yoruba person to beg for money in the market or these days. Go around Bodija, you see women pẹ̀lú diku, pẹ̀lú asking for and I even had an occasion in which, out of just to dismiss the lady, I gave her something and said,
Really?
Yes. In Bodija, you see things like that. So it is a result of a breakdown of society. It's a result of harsh economic conditions consequent upon ostentation. That's where this is coming from. The culture of Ounje Omo is standard everywhere in the world. Even those who don't give their parents Ounje Omo directly, they take them to old people's home and be paying the fees in the old people's home. It is standard that the younger will help the weak because the weak had helped the younger when the younger was weak. So now that the older is weak, the younger who is now strong, it's a duty.
And I said that I'm not saying that we don't have duties to our parents. That would be very, very not just wrong, but a stupid thing to say. But then the what I'm concerned with is limiting. In fact, I think the monetary aspect of it is the easiest part. You know, the real substance of Ounje Omo is way more than
of course.
The monetary aspect.
Of course. I mean, look at the aphorism. Tokete ba dagba. Omo omo e lo mu. The okete doesn't need breast milk. It is symbolic. So it is not necessarily money. It is support. Look, in Yoruba culture, when you pray for somebody, there's a usual prayer. O ni ku, o ni run. Very deep. Everybody that is born will die. Abiku ni gbogbo wa. Biwa
Abiku ni gbogbo wa.
Abiku ni gbogbo wa. Ento ba ti bi o ma ku niyen. Abiku ni.
Gbogbo ẹni abi ló máa kú. Shout out to Brimo.
Now, if you now tell somebody, oh, ni ku, and you don't stop, you now say, oh, ni run. So, if you die in a condition in which there are people to take care of what remains of you, what we Yoruba refer to as àwọn ẹlẹ́yẹ, àwọn tó máa mú ikú yẹ, those who will make your passing a celebration if it is at the right age, a ripe old age, then you have not died. But when you die on the roadside and there's nobody to pick your remains up and your remains putrefies and becomes a nuisance to the neighborhood, that is another level of death. So that's when I say, oh,
so it's even literal.
Oh,
okay, it is from the real one.
Yeah, if you die and you are not taken care of, wow. So that is it. Àwọn nǹkan tí ọmọ dẹ̀ wà fún nìyẹn. Kò dẹ̀ wá ó jẹ́ ọmọ nìyẹn. Kò dẹ̀ wá gbọ́n dandan kó jọ ọmọ tó bí fúnra rẹ̀ tó tara ẹ̀ jáde o. Torí pé
just like the example you have given of your cottages today, who have
all the things that I have talked about that people did for me in this past few weeks. My biological children were not involved. They did their own thing, separate. But borehole, re-roof my house, put
exhibitions.
The exhibition is still running. One month, a whole week of celebration. I didn't spend a penny for all the celebrations, including the food, including the band, including the venue, everything. And none of them is my blood. They are people I have taught in the past and in various universities. Some of them I never even taught in their university. They probably came to me for industrial attachment or for as an intern or a student work experience or any of these arrangements by which students deal with people in industry. And by the special grace of God, they felt a need to express appreciation of whatever impact I've had on their lives. And they did all this. My own biological children did their own. And that is another level of Ounje Omo. But the ones that I'm not even related to, who from England, from America, from all over the world, who said, Uncle T is 70, da, 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 da. And the funny thing is now, I have various grades. There are those that are from who I'm Boda Tunde. They are from whom I'm Uncle Tunde. There are those that are from Baba. And it's so interesting the way I'm looking at the whole, way the whole thing is going. And there's the one from whom I'm TA. And everything that came, Ounje Omo. And that is why when you pray for a person, Ounje Omo ni kuro lenu e. That is, you will not partake of the benefits of having children, of having mentees, of having proteges in agony, in pain. May it not be that these children will be paying hospital bills on your behalf, rather enhancing your life.
Yeah, okay. And again, I said one of the effects of making these things solely about money. I'm not saying money definitely has to be a part of it.
I say the money is a part of it that really bothers you.
Because I think it is shifting the attention of
I think what we should hold on to there is what the Yoruba talks about is Ounje Omo, not Owo Omo.
Not Owo Omo. Ounje Omo.
Ounje Omo.
Not Owo Omo.
Ounje Omo.
Because there are so many youths today, and I can mention many who are doing these things out of resentment. Who are doing these things, they're just doing it out of it, not really the love. And I think what is if the love is there, the money part is easiest. You know, I think the joy of seeing your children excel as a result of your sacrifices for them. Ounje Omo, I think seeing them cohabiting, you know, in love, seeing your children take your name to higher heights, seeing them enter places you could never have dreamt of entering. That is part of Ounje Omo.
Let me make a confession to you. My mother died at age 92, 93. Around age 80, he called my nephews. I have a set of twin nephews who are very close to me. And my mother was Ijesha, and she was unapologetic about her being Ijesha. She called my twin nephews and said, Awe, Ogari, that's me, Ogari. Oya o love me. Osan pada. Because I took money from my mother till she was in the 80s. And I sometimes defaulted. And on this occasion, I paid back. And she was so surprised that, and he called my nephews to they were the ones that are close enough to me that she could share it with. We are Gary. So,
wow.
Meanwhile, my mother would not have said, because I played my role too. I played my role until she was in her 80s. She still suckled me, so to say.
Thank goodness you gave that example, because it relates to one of the positions I took, that it is our duty. Whatever we do to our children is actually our obligation, for which we should expect nothing in return. I'm not saying that the children have no duties to you, but you shouldn't do it with the mindset of an investment. I think
the issue is even extortion and exploitation. No parent should extort their children or exploit their children. And I think once we leave it there, the whole thing is taken care of.
I think it is because your mother had that mindset. That is why what happened between you could happen even when she was 80.
Yeah.
Because she saw you as a child, as a responsibility, a status which was not something that expired with age, which was not something that would, and all of that. So for now, many of us, we don't have that security. We don't. We don't feel that. Okay.
To support you, that my mother kept seeing me as somebody to care for. She once called one of my proteges and kind of reported me. Said, "Komode, koma rin ajo, koma le sọ fún yeye re." That one said, "Ko ye mi ma." Komode. That one sees me as Baba. And she said, "Komode ma rin ajo, koma le sọ fún yeye re. Ibo lo fẹ́ kí n kọnu àdúrà sí?" So in what direction does he expect me to direct my prayers if he doesn't tell me that he's traveling and where he's traveling to, and say, but this time I was in my 60s.
It's really deep that she actually used the word omode.
Because that's what I am to her.
And don't be omode, of course, will play the role that one plays to an omode.
To make an omode not falter. So there's a kind of reciprocity in this thing. My pastor talked about this some time ago and said, you are supposed to be playing these roles forward, not backwards. Invest sufficiently in your children to be able to invest in theirs.
It actually tallies with what I think a part of the Bible in 1 Corinthians or so says, that it is the father who should lay up for the children, something to that effect. It's the father who should lay up for the children, and not the. I think also in Proverbs that a good man lays up for the children, or
So the whole thing must be seen as aberrations that emanate from inclement economic conditions.
Wow. Well, I'm very grateful that I've had this, because personally, actually, I'm convinced that this is not what it should be. I did that so that some parents can see it and maybe reconsider the approaches with which they have been dealing with their children. I know parents, I know fathers who go on to marry second wives, third wives, fourth wives, the responsibility of which is placed on the male children, especially the firstborn children. And there are so many people today, especially Nigerians abroad, Nigerians overseas, who are really, really disturbed, whose growth is being stymied, being hampered. They are very, very sad. And many people are just doing these things, but out of resentment, which I think
that's most unfortunate. If one will have to do that with respect, it defeats the whole purpose.
Well, Ounje Omo, for obedience, they are not that financially blessed. Like it won't be wrong for the child to buy and all that. We're not saying that those situations are, what I'm saying is that there is a very unhealthy emphasis on now my own financial duties becomes the responsibility of that children. That is the narrative of Ounje Omo being
that is not Ounje Omo. No, that's not Ounje Omo. That is
Owo Omo.
That's Owo Omo.
I mean, I want you to talk to two sets of people, to youths who may be victims of this situation, and to parents who may be maybe perpetrators or instigators. And I just want you to say one or two words to those two sets of people, sir.
Nǹkan tó bá ti jẹ́ ti ẹni méjì, ọ̀rọ̀ tó bá ti jẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ẹni méjì, ó ti dọ̀rọ̀ bínúkonú. Inú láti kó inú ni, láti gbé ní ìlànà tí ò ní pa ọ̀tún lára, tí ò ní pa òsì lára. Àwọn nǹkan tí òbí bá nílò tó jẹ́ kó ṣe pàtàkì nínú ìgbésí ayé òbí, kí Ọlọ́run ṣe kí ọmọ lè fún wọn. Nǹkan tó ṣe pàtàkì bẹ́ẹ̀ ni tí Ọlọ́run bá ti ṣe tí ọmọ lè fún òbí ní àwọn nǹkan kò ṣeé má ní fún òbí, ọmọ yẹn ti ṣe ojúṣe ẹ̀. Òbí náà kó fira ẹ̀ sí ipò wípé kì í ṣe pé mo fẹ́ jẹ ọmọ yìí pa. Kí òbí káwọn òbí kí wọ́n rí bẹ́ẹ̀, kí ọmọ náà kó múra sọ́rọ̀ ara ẹ̀, kó ṣorí dédé bí wípé àwọn nǹkan tó jẹ́ kò ṣeé má ní fún òbí ipa àwọn lè ká. Tá bá ti ṣe yẹn, gbogbo ìtókù ayọ̀ ni à ń yọ̀ síra Ọlọ́run. Òbí tó fẹ́ bá àwọn ẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀ta kan gbọ́n kó má lọ dá sọ́rùn ọmọ ẹ̀, tó bá fẹ́ ṣe kó lọ ṣe fúnra rẹ̀. Ìbò náà ń ṣiṣẹ́, àbí tó bá dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé òbí tó ti darúgbó tí ibi tó yìí ṣe ta ló wá ń bá ta kan gbọ́n. Ṣèbí ká máa tọ́jú wọn kí ti ọlọ́jọ́ máa fi dé lókù. Torí náà àdúrà tá a máa gbà ní wípé nǹkan tá a máa nílò láti fi tọ́jú àwọn òbí wa kọ́lọ̀ má fi wọ́n wà.
Thank you very much for watching to this point, and once again I'm very grateful, sir, for this privilege. Please, I want you in the comment section to just appreciate Baba for me. Most of all I've always shared with you, I've learned from him, and he has never tired of actually teaching me. He has granted me that access, and the access is positively changing my life. So I'm very grateful for that, and I forever will be. Keep supporting us by subscribing and sharing this video, that it may reach people also, and they may be blessed by what we have just done now. Till we meet again, Washiri.